Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dominican route, and today I will be talking about a very important topic of mine. It's about looking healthy but being disabled. As you all know, I am disabled. I was assaulted by a high school student in September of 2015, and I had permanent nerve damage. I had major surgery, and I also have to have one more surgery on my spinal cord stimulator. But the crazy part about it is, yes, I go through a lot of pain, a lot of issues and things like that. But looking healthy, and like going to the airport or going vote or going wherever I need to go or parking in a disabled parking spot, I get so many head nods. Like people are like, man, I can't, you know you're not disabled. And sometimes I get people to comment and say, hey, you need to give that spot to an old person or to somebody that's really disabled. And at one time I started to try to explain to them, hey, I'm really disabled. I'm really in a lot of pain sometimes. But when I'm not in a lot of pain, of course I'll park in a regular spot at Walmart or Target or whatever. But when I'm in a lot of pain, like at the airport or at the voting station or getting ready to vote or something like that, I will get in the disabled line and get in line. And I get the looks. I get people saying, oh man, you know, that's wrong. I have different people, not all the time, but they'll say something to me because they think that I'm pretending like I'm disabled. Looking healthy. And as you can see from some of these videos, you know, I have always had an athletic build. You know, when I played with the Yankees, I was just always like physically, you know, fit and looking, you know, I was 6'1", 175 pounds, 185. Now I'm 6'1", 205 pounds. So I always look physically fit. You know, I really just don't swell up a lot and get big or nothing. It's just the way my body is. And if I eat and I diet correctly, I really look physically fit. I'm not doing any workout or anything like that. My body just kind of loses all its fat, and then I just kind of get ripped up and things like that. I always get bad looks, like I am trying to buck the system and park in a handicap spot, or I'm trying to skip through the line at the airport, and people just looking at me like, man, what's wrong with them, you know? So, and sometimes I get people to ask me what happened or what's going on, but sometimes I get these bad looks, like, you're 45 years old, you look good, ain't nothing wrong with you. But I got scars, 2 scars in my neck, I have major scars in my back, I have so many rods and screws and spinal cord stimulators and wires and leads going down my back and my neck. But it is what it is. You just have to, you know, when I became disabled, I had to learn how to cope with it and how to deal with it. So today I'm going to give you 2 examples of the things that I have went through being disabled but looking like I'm not disabled. You know, like right now I have tingling in my hand. So if you see me doing my hand like this, that means that I have a lot of like nerve damage and my hand gets numb and things like that. That's just normal. But today I'm going to give you an example of like the things that I went through. These are 2 examples. I can give you 10 or 15 examples. These are 2 examples. So let's get started with number 1. Voting. This was like, you know, right now I don't care about it anymore because I don't care what people think. But when I first became disabled, I would care and think about like, oh man, they're thinking about me, they're looking at me, they're giving me strange looks. But when I went to vote, this was about a year and a half ago, I went to vote, and the line was wrapped around the building. And I stood in the regular line for a little while. And then my body started like aching, and my left leg started getting real numb, and I started having a lot of pain in my neck, and just you know, it was just a lot of pain in my body, and my back started to spaz a little bit. I said, no, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. I'm going to exercise my right to vote. I'm going to vote. So I went straight to the disabled line. They've only had about 6 or 7 people in that line, and mostly it was older people, like with canes and wheelchairs and things like that. But I got in line and I just stood in line. And the lady that was letting people into the voting booth in the disabled line, she said, how can I help you? I said, I came to vote. She said, this is the disabled line. I said, I'm disabled. So, and we just kind of stared at each other, and she paused and she just looked at me and she said, can I get your identification, please? I said, no problem. I noticed that she didn't get the identification of like the older people. So, but that's, I mean, hey, I look like it's nothing wrong with me. So she got my ID. I gave her my ID. She saw my disability ID from Louisiana, and it says disabled. You know, and it's like she wanted to ask me, like, what's wrong with you? But I was just standing there normal. So she told me just to stay in line. And I looked behind me, and everybody in the regular line was just kind of looking at me and just shaking their head. And then one lady just said, ain't nothing wrong with him. She said, ain't nothing wrong with him. And then I started beading. I started sweating on my nose a little bit, like, and I wanted to explain myself. But I just didn't. I just did not. I'm laughing about it now, but you know, it was a time when I cared about what people said about me. Yes, it was. This lady reminded me of my mom. You know, like my mom. You know, she'd just say what's on her mind. So yeah, the lady. I got in line after the lady gave me the ID, and then I just paused for like 15 seconds, and I heard her say, ain't nothing wrong with him. So anyway, I just looked back and smiled at her, and I said, God bless you. And that was the end of it, you know. So she couldn't do nothing. She just kind of shook her head, and she probably had to wait in line for another hour and a half. And I was like in and out within 15 minutes. So that's one example. You know, when I went to go vote, I had a lot of bad looks, and I was kind of interrogated, you know, like, are you really disabled? So that's one. The second example this was about a week ago when I was coming into the Dominican Republic. This one is kind of funny because me and my son got off the plane, and I asked, because I was in a lot of pain. It's a 2-hour flight from Fort Lauderdale to the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. I asked for a wheelchair as soon as I got off the plane, and the lady, she spoke English and she spoke Spanish, so she said, okay, hold on one second, I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. I think she thought that I was getting something for my grandmother or my mother, or for a disabled older person, a lady or man or something like that, but I was getting it for me. So she ran and got a wheelchair, and she came back, and I sat there and I sat down in it. I sat down in the wheelchair, and she looked at me and said she looked behind. She looked behind like where's the person that's disabled? And I was telling her, I said, I'm disabled. So anyway, I'm laughing about it because now I have learned to just go with it. You know, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm permanently disabled. You know, I just have to live with it. But now I have a new avenue. I have something else that before I didn't have to worry about proving to somebody that I was disabled. Now I have learned that I do not have to prove to someone that I am disabled. I'm really disabled for real. I mean, I wouldn't wish this pain on nobody. The sleepless nights and all the pain medication and the oxycodone and the hydrocodone or whatever I take, and the gabapentin and the soma and all that other stuff that I take, and medical marijuana and all that. So I have learned to deal with my disability. I have released a lot of negative energy, and I have turned my pain into purpose. And you know, this is for me, this is for anybody out there that goes through the same situations. You might not go through a situation where someone thinks that you are faking it, but you may go through certain things where you're just in a lot of pain. And a lot of times when I'm in a lot of pain, I mentally make myself feel good, and I just try to put myself in a good element. So another thing is, people see me swimming. I was a professional swimmer. I learned how to swim at an early age. Like my second father was Melvin Robinson, and second mom was Cynthia Robinson. We would swim for free all the time. I probably was a so-called lifeguard at the age of 14, 15 years old, because Melvin Robinson would allow me to sit on the deep end and watch the people that wanted to learn how to swim. And I would have a pole, and I would have like a life jacket just to help them, you know, pull them in. But I would help out with the adult classes. I was an excellent swimmer, you know. So I was a lifeguard at the YMCA in Dallas, Texas, and so I love swimming. So when I'm not in pain, I'm swimming. When I'm not in pain, I'm dancing. I'm doing whatever type of dance I can do. And I even have family members to say, hey, what, you know, you're dancing? Yeah, I'm not doing backwards flips. I'm dancing. If I want to dance and move my body and do what I can do while I can, if that makes any sense, I will. When I'm not in excruciating pain, I will enjoy my life to the fullest, and I do not care what anybody says. No one. At one time, I thought I would just have to get in a corner and just rot away and just sit there. People will talk about you no matter what. People will just say anything about you just because they don't like you. I don't bother nobody. I don't owe anybody any money. I don't hate on nobody. I'm not jealous against anybody. But you're always going to get something from someone that just do not like you. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. So this main video was for people that are going through things in life, and people are going to judge you no matter what. Turn all your pain into some type of purpose, and as long as you're doing everything the right way. So I have really grown a lot, and God has really pushed my purpose in these last 5 years, and I am just enjoying my life to the best of my ability. So you may see me swimming, you may see me dancing, if you want to call it dancing. I'm not a good dancer, but you may see me moving my body around, because those are the days that I am feeling good, and I'm feeling halfway good to the point where I can enjoy life, because God has given me the ability to do those things when I am not in a lot of pain. So I am not paralyzed. I could have been easily paralyzed. I was very close to being paralyzed for the rest of my life. They performed a surgery on me, and I had to get a 6? I don't know. I think I have a 6 or 7 level neck fusion. I don't know. You guys count it. I don't know what I have. So just look at the pictures and you'll see what I have. But I thank God that I'm not paralyzed. So every chance that I get, I will enjoy my life and do what I need to do, and not worry about what people say about me. I would just see people shaking their head and looking around, and whispering in other people's ears, like, nah, he ain't disabled, ain't nothing wrong with him. And then they'll shake their, they'll look at me and be like, That used to offend me when people used to say, ain't nothing wrong with him. So, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the Dominican Route. Tell everybody about the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that notification bell. God bless, make peace be still, and I will see you next time. Peace.